Hello everyone, welcome to another Rick's Picks. Today we're going to be doing the final build video for the Robocop 2 figure Cain. So we already gone through the body, arms, and what have you. This video we're going to be going through the legs and how I'm putting them together and then how they look and then attaching them to the figure. So this will, like I said earlier, this will be the final build video. The next video will be me actually looking the figure over, looking at his accessories, and how he compares with the Robocop and Ed 209. So I'm looking forward to that video. So without any further ado, let's get to this build. So here I am at the early stages of working on the leg. So this is obviously going to be the upper part of the leg, I'm guessing. All right, so you have a slot here, okay, and a slot here. Now, this ball joint here, okay, has a click in it. This is one of the extra parts. It's not part of the sprue. It's you know, the mechanical parts. You probably saw them when you watched the video on how to that I was spray painting it. So you get this goofy piece that pops onto it, and I just slid it over. I didn't glue it in. I don't trust gluing that in because you may need some movement there. I don't know yet. It's too early in this leg build, and like I said in previous videos, you always want to be a couple steps ahead because it doesn't really indicate to you what to glue, what not to glue. So it's a lot of figuring out. So you have this part here, all right, that doesn't have a little edge, where this one has a seat. Okay, see how you have this little seat here? This is definitely going to go into the leg, and then this piece without the seat is probably going to go into the hip joint. So if you look in here, you got this perfect little spot for the seat to set, and it's supposed to go in here just like that. It just slides in really nicely. All right, so now you have this ball joint. Like I said, that's why I keep this loose, because it may move, it may not. I'm not exactly sure what's going on with this yet. And now you got this other mechanical part here. All right, it has these two nubs on either side. All right, so if you look in here, yeah, there we go, I'm shining it right. You can see there's where the two nubs hook in. Now, as far as I'm aware of, it doesn't say which way this is supposed to go. All right, it doesn't say if these two are facing up or if these two are facing down. All right. So this just clicks in here. All right. So hopefully that is the right way. Like I said, when you look at the directions for it, let me see if I can bring up the directions. All right. It's on the other side. All right. So now, if you're looking at these directions, okay. All right. So now you're looking at the directions. You see it shows this leg piece here, and it looks like, all right, looks like I put it on right, because if you look right here, it looks like the one tip is up opposed to the two. So if that changes, I'll let you guys know later in the build. As far as I'm aware of, that's the way it's set up. So I just wanted to quickly talk to you about these 2 points before I really start putting the leg together. All right, so you got your ball joint in here. It's going to swivel a little bit when it doesn't fall out. Well, it's not in place yet. And then you have this piece here. All right, so that's the beginning of the first leg. Okay, so I'm almost finished the leg, or at least this one here. I haven't started on the second one yet. But I was talking about these pins here. Where's my poker? All right. These 3 pins, I told you I wasn't sure which way they go. Well, it actually goes this way. So you have the single pin up here by itself, and then you have your double pins down here. And that's how it will hook into the leg if you look at the light, see? But now, if you accidentally put it on the other way, it doesn't matter. This thing spins, so you can always move it to how it needs to be. All right. And while we got this here, might as well glue it on in. All right. A little bit there, a little bit there, and a little bit there. And it's going to just fit really nicely in here. All right. So there you go. Now we have that part of the leg together. It'll move back and forth. There's a ratcheting system in there, which is really nice. So that way, you know, it'll keep it locked in place. All right, I'll go more in depth in the legs later when I finish both legs, because for the most part, both legs are the same. You know, maybe a minor difference here and there, but nothing really noticeable. So both legs are now done. So you have this leg here. All right. And now you have this leg here. All right. Other than what I showed you with the mechanics, the legs really aren't that hard to put together. This leg, I still got a little bit of paint work I want to do to it before it's ready. I might even do a little bit more on that. But one of the things that are a pain on these legs is this spring right here. Let me bring the light in a little bit better. All right, so you got a real spring right here that puts on this piston. Now the problem is there's a small hole right up in here that this piston has to go into. But what happens is, because you got a spring on it, it's hard to push it in. So it's a bugger trying to push that in there, because this is all one piece. It doesn't come as two pieces. So you have to slide this whole piece up in there, and you got to, oops, sorry. You got to monkey around with it for a little bit, but it eventually goes in. Other than that, there was no real issues with the legs. All right. This here, you had the option to either paint it or put a decal on it. I prefer to paint it. I think it looks a little bit nicer. All right. You got a lot of moving pieces. So you got this that goes up and down. You got that joint there. You got this joint. You got this here on a type of swivel. All right. You also got the toes that move. All right. What have you. So there's a lot of moving parts to these feet. All right. So without any further ado, I saved the last part, the best for last, actually putting the legs on. All right. So if you look here, get them in focus, get a little bit more light where we need to shine it. All right. You got this little nub here. It's on both sides. Oops, stupid hands. It's on both sides, all right. The body. And if you look here, you can see the matching nubs. So you're going to have to line those up. So this might be interesting to try to do. All right. So that should just slide right in there, just like that. All right. It clicks in. No issues. All right. Let's get the other leg on. Clicks in. No issues. Line them up. Push them back a little. Bring the camera. Oops. Sorry. Bring the camera up a little. So now you can see him, all right, in all his glory. The legs hook on well. No issues. He seems to stand pretty sturdy like. All right, so that's the first look of him assembled. The next video I'm going to be doing is the last video, and what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at him like we do most of my other figures, where we're going to look over points of articulation, all his accessories, because he comes with a couple other things that are optional. You can take on, put on, and what have you. I'm also going to stand them up next to the NECA figures. So you'll see them next to Robocop and Ed 209. Going to see how well he looks with those as well. So the next video is going to be the finale. You know, I hope you guys join me with that video as well. So with that being said, I hope you guys did like this video. If you did, go ahead and hit that thumbs up, share, and subscribe. They may be small clicks for you, but it really helps the channel grow. So until the next one, late.